Hello, my name is Barry Hughes and I'm Selwood Housing's Group Chief Executive. Thank you to everybody who submitted questions to us. So we're going to go through 6 of those today. If you do have any other questions or thoughts, then please just post them under this video. Why does repair sometimes need 2 visits? Well, sometimes we have to have a surveyor go out to look at the repair first to decide what work needs doing, and then there might be materials or other things that need ordering before the operative can come back in to finish the job off. So sometimes for more complicated repairs, it might take a couple of visits to get those resolved. How can I find out if I'm responsible for a repair? Well, we've just updated our website with a brilliant new repairs section. So if you go to the website, you'll be able to see on there all sorts of helpful tips and advice and guidance on which repairs are your responsibility and which are Selwood's responsibility. What is your policy about property abandonment? So when we become aware that a property may have been abandoned, then we will investigate that and try to find out whether the tenant has abandoned the property or whether there's some other circumstances that might make it appear that they have, but actually there's a genuine reason behind it. And then we have to go through a full court process to get access back to that property, so we can't just go back in as soon as we like. Even if we believe somebody has abandoned the property, we have to go through a formal process. So it might appear that it's taking a long time for us to be able to get back into a property to re-let it, but we will be moving as quick as we can through the system to make that happen through the courts. And then once we've regained control of the property, we'll then be able to make it ready to let again to a new customer. What happens if a sole tenant passes away and a family member would like to take on the tenancy? So this is a really difficult area because obviously in those circumstances it's a hard time for the family, and so really the best advice is to get in touch with us if you're in those circumstances, and we'll be able to help explain what your best options are. Broadly, there's what's called succession. So once the tenancy can pass on to a family member, but there's lots of different circumstances and technicalities within that. So it's really best to make contact with us and we'll be able to help you with your particular situation. How do you calculate service charges and where are they spent? So the way we work out service charges is we collect together all the money that's been spent on the services throughout the year, and then that's allocated to different homes depending on the services that those people receive. So you'll be paying for the services that are directly related to the property that you live in, and it's all based on the actual costs that have been spent. So we don't estimate anything, it's all the real amounts that have been spent. I've reported antisocial behaviour, but nothing ever seems to happen to take any action against my neighbours. So antisocial behaviour, or ASB as it gets shortened to, is a really difficult area because we recognise it's really hard if you're suffering with antisocial behaviour in your area or from your neighbours, and we want to take decisive action over that. There has to be a breach of tenancy or a genuine disturbance in the neighbourhood, and then we will take action. But it is often very complicated. We have to get good evidence, and we'll be working with other agencies as well and the police to be able to take that through to the courts, because we can't just evict somebody without going through a proper court process, taking that evidence, and it's got to be enough to convince a judge to actually remove somebody from their home. So it can be a time-consuming process, and we recognise that's very frustrating and difficult if you're the person with that happening around you, but we will be doing as much as we can be to make things happen and get the issue resolved as soon as possible. But it is a complicated process and involves a lot of people. It's also important to remember, if you are scared and fearful of anything that's happening, if there's a crime being committed, you should go to the police. So don't hesitate to do that. Go to the police first and then come and talk to us. But if there's anything happening in the moment, then go to the police.